Hey guys, if you're enjoying the content I've been putting up, be sure to subscribe so you always know when a new video pops up. Now that we got that part out of the way, let's get into the video. Final Fantasy XIV is a massive game with thousands of hours of content. What I'm going to do here is break down some of the major plot points for those of you who want to know more about Eorzea, but may not have time to experience it all firsthand. This time, we're covering the Nier crossover, Yorha Dark Apocalypse. Out in Tamra, the dwarves have been doing a lot of digging, and they stumbled across something quite interesting. The Warrior of Light, not wanting to miss out on anything that involves potential death and dismemberment, tries to take a peek. And while one of the guards is more than open to taking a little bribe, the chief is having none of that. So you're going to have to find another way into what the dwarves are calling the machine graveyard. While the dwarf has no intention of helping you out, he does ask you to deliver a message for him to two young dwarves named Enog and Konog, who keep trying to sneak into the dig site. The message is pretty short: stop sneaking in, or else. The twins laugh at the fact that you carried out the request for free, but after noticing how strong your neck looks from all of the nodding you do, they decide to put your gullibility to good use. The fact that they don't even make a secret out of the fact that they plan on using you for a patsy and you still go along with it proves that the Warrior of Light is an idiot. The kids are working on a project and they need an automaton core for it. It's being stored on a cliff with some other stuff and they send you to get it for them, which you do. The chief of the dig site overhears them trying to get you to do more for them, and he fusses at them for taking advantage of your kindness right before he asks you to do something for him. He needs a lantern from one of the other caves, a job that he could have easily sent someone else to do, but at least he does pay you for it. When you bring it to him, you see the twins trying to bribe their way into the machine graveyard, which the guard can't understand. The place is basically a junkyard, but the twins seem to think that there's something more there. You're also a bit curious to see what's so special about the place, but a string of thefts in the settlements forces you to look into something else first. All types of items have been going missing. At first it was small stuff, so no one paid attention, but once some of the valuable stuff that they had found on the dig site went missing, things changed. With you being an outsider and the thief obviously being a dwarf, since they're pretty much the only ones who really be around, you're the perfect person to track down the thief since you seem incapable of saying no anyway. With a little bit of digging, you find out that the thief is the same dirty gate guard who was trying to sell you a peek inside of the dig site. When you confront him, he runs off, and since he has the key to the site that the twins need, Enog and Konog join you on the chase. Of course, when you catch him and find out that he's a triplet and his brothers are thieves too, the twins run off, leaving you to deal with them. It's not like they're strong or anything, but it's the principle of the thing. Abandoning people to fight alone is shameful. The three dwarves have been taking turns guarding the gate to the dig site while the other two stole stuff to sell. After the thrashing you give them, they decide to turn themselves in, but as they leave, you see that they drop the key that the twins wanted during the fighting. When you let the chief know what really happened, he punishes the thieves by taking away their dinner, a punishment that they really seem to hate. But now the chief is worried about something else. He hasn't seen the twins in a while, which means they're up to something. With the guards gone, the twins were waiting by the dig site for you to bring them the key, and since your own desire for adventure outweighs your good sense, you hand it over and follow them inside only to find another door. The twins have a key for this one too, and it's made up of a pile of bombs. You know, blowing things up in a tunnel could make the whole thing collapse, but since the mountain didn't fall down on top of the three of you, you all head deeper inside, only to find an unconscious woman with a force field around her body, protecting her from a relentless beating from a group of very poorly designed robots. The twins pull more bombs out of their bottomless pockets and blow the robots apart. All of the noise brings the dig site chief running. I mean, what did you actually think would happen? And he's not happy, but the twins ignore him and go to check on the girl. Now, for all of you Nier buffs, you may recognize the woman as 2B in a white dress, but she's not. She calls herself 2P, and while the twins want to know more, like why their bombs didn't blow her up too, she says all of that can wait. She needs to stop something she calls the machine life forms from doing something that she won't explain by reaching the center of the ruins that lie behind a massive door in the area. While she won't explain anything, she wants you to follow her. The twins are quick to do it, but the chief doesn't see this ending in any way but bad, so he asks you to watch out for them since you can't stop them from putting themselves in harm's way. The large door that 2P leads you to is locked as what she calls a last line of defense to keep people out, but the twins produce even more bombs that make short work of the lock, and since they found the place, they definitely want to see what's inside. Knowing that you can't stop them, and because you want to see what's inside yourself, you enter the place known as the Copied Factory. The place is not empty, and your entrance triggers an alarm that causes the machines who 2P claims are acting against their will to attack you. The factory is a technological marvel, way more advanced than pretty much anything else you've seen on the first, and 2P seems to know her way around quite well. Deeper inside, you face even bigger machines, some of which get hacked by an unknown source and are sent after 2P, who seems to be their true target. After taking down another machine that is literally the size of a construction site, 2P detects the energy signature of the hacker, who you should recognize if you played Nier Automata, as 9S. When he sees you with 2P, he lets you know that she's his target, but if you fight with her, he has no problem killing you both. The dwarf twins step back and let you all fight. And I gotta say that while Yoko Taro's method of storytelling is an acquired taste, no one can deny that he knows how to make a boss fight. After you bring down 9S's machines, he bursts out of the wreckage and attacks 2P. If you played Nier, then you know that the dress-wearing Yorha member is a far superior fighter than 9S, and it seems like that same holds true for 2P, who knocks him off of the side of the factory before collapsing from her own injuries. Since there could be others nearby, you all head out of the factory. On the way out, 2P passes out, and you all have to carry her the rest of the way. Konog can't believe that you're still standing. The power you display is outright insane coming from a mortal. Insane, and a little scary when you think about it. Even Konog has to admit that your skills are wasted with all of the silly errands that people have you running. Not like that's going to stop him from asking you to do more of those same errands later. He just wants you to know that you should be doing something else with your time. When 2P wakes back up, Anog bombards her with questions, mainly about 9S, like who was he, why was he trying to kill her, and how did he control the machines. She reveals that he's not a boy at all, but an android, just like her. The fact that she's not human is hard for any of you to comprehend, since it's hard enough to make the automatons that you see in the dwarf villages. There's no one alive, at least that the dwarves know of, that can make machines that can pass for humans and fight like gods. But android or not, it doesn't explain why 9S tried to kill you. 2P doesn't know why either, but she does know that there are other androids out there, and if they come looking for the ruins, they may be as hostile as 9S, which means they could wipe out the entire dwarf village. Konog is freaked out by this, but Anog reminds him that you have a strong android ally and an extremely violent assistant, meaning you, to protect them, not to mention a lot of bombs. However, 2P admits that she took too much damage in the last battle and probably won't last for much longer. She may not be able to fight, but she does tell you that deep in the ruins is a key that you need to find that she claims will let you stop the machines and the androids. She tries to tell you more, but in typical story fashion, she shuts down before she can tell you the important parts. Anog is excited to find the key that 2P mentioned. She almost seems obsessed with it, like she has something to prove to someone, and she already knows that you're going to come along. The prospect of making machines that are superior to people excites her. Maybe because she hasn't seen any movies like Terminator, The Matrix, iRobot, Ex Machina, Avengers Age of Ultron, you get the point. She even thinks that with a little bit of searching in the ruins, you may even find a way to fix 2P. Konog is a little less trusting of the vague super android. He doesn't know whether anything she said is true at all, especially since he has no idea what will happen if you find this key of hers and give it to her. They might make things worse. The twins argue, but they decide to leave the choice to you. Do you rush forward, putting your blind faith in 2P to see what adventures await? Or do you take Konog's path of caution and less potential risk, but a chance for less rewards? Because I'm awesome, I made 2 characters and did both, just for you guys, but you'll have to wait until next time to see what happens. Before you leave, hit that like button, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on the next part of the story.